yours.
Okay. Hey, this is Leslie, and I am here for day 2 of our 5-day challenge, art break, our little sneak peek for our summer camp that's coming up in July, the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. We're so excited about it. Yesterday, we made our camp badges, which was very fun. I was so lucky to have a lovely group of women that I've known forever to help decorate and make their camp badges. So this week is all about giving you a sneak peek as to all the fun things that are coming up for our summer camp. We're so excited about it. We can't wait. And today I have a very special guest, my dear friend Boo Balkan-Foster with Balkan Designs. She is going to be doing beading basics, or like I like to say, beading basics with Boo. And Boo will also be teaching a workshop at camp with a little bit more detail. So we're very excited about this. Please feel free, if you're watching this live or if you're watching it in the replay, if you have any questions for myself or for Boo, or just want to know more, drop it in the comments. And yeah, and just we're super excited about camp. It's 3 days. We're going to have 30 workshops. We have 15 different artists that will be teaching the workshops. Over the 3 days, you get to take 3 classes or workshops live being virtual. And but after camp, you're going to have access to all 30 of the workshops. So stick around, stay tuned. I'll be telling you a little bit more about camp. But now we're going to turn it over to Boo. So thank you for being here.
All right, here is my lovely friend Boo. We actually met in 1983 or 4, we can't decide, but we met at camp of all places. So it's fun that we get to be here together talking about our summer camp and just being able to have this time to have to give you an opportunity to take a little break for yourself and try something new. So Boo, tell us a little bit about you and what you got happening.
First of all, as Leslie said, my name is Boo Balkan-Foster. I am a teacher, but I have a side hustle where I design and make jewelry, and it helps me support my students. And Leslie's been hugely supportive forever and ever with all things, and so she asked me to participate in a couple markets, and I did that. And then she was all excited about summer camp. So I'm excited too, because I think a lot of us, as teachers' perspective of course, and as a parent, I think this year has been really hard with COVID and lots of changes and all kinds of things. And I believe that it's super important for us to have things to look forward to and things that are creative and outlets. And even if you've never beaded before, I encourage you to give it a shot. And I'm going to show you some supplies, and I encourage you to sign up for camp, because if you sign up for camp, I will also provide you like a supply list. And I get all my supplies from a wholesaler, but I do have a few things that I will do some more research on, that maybe where you can order some things online. So as you can see, I have my badge. I hope you go back and look at what we did yesterday. It's kind of silly, but they're kind of fun. And even if you're not an artist, get a couple friends, get your kids, get your neighbor, get your spouse, your partner, whatever, and create something. Because even if you aren't super excited about what you create, what you're doing is creating community, and I think that's super important. So give it a shot. This is my badge yesterday. All right, I'm going to show you a couple things. When you are shopping for beads, you are going to find them in what are called hanks. This is a hank of beads. Or you're going to find them loose, right? If you want to buy things that are the most cost effective, you're going to want to buy them in hanks. You're going to get more, and you may not use them now, but because you're going to become an artist or a crafter, or not become one, you're going to release your inner artist, you'll have them for later. Some people are into natural stones. This is tanzanite, which is a natural stone. I think it's beautiful. I love the purple. And this is carnelian, which is also a natural stone. And if you have some time and you're interested in the properties of stones and so forth, crystals for example, do some research online and you might find something that, you know, you're attracted to. These over here, these 3 on this side, the orange, see the little sugar skulls, aren't those fun?
Yeah,
The
I like
orange,
those.
the sugar schools, and the red, these are all check glass. I used to only work with semi-precious stones, but I have fallen in love with check glass because it's light, it's vibrant, and for those of us in the Pacific Northwest, I think having a pop of color can add some cheer sometimes.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people are into turquoise. I love turquoise. This is not turquoise. Turquoise is really, really expensive. Unfortunately, our mines have been overly depleted, if you will. And so fine turquoise is really challenging, and if you do, it's going to cost you a lot of money. An alternative to that, this is, I can't remember if it's halite or magnesite, and what they do is those two stones are white, and they add the color in. So you get the look of turquoise for a fraction of the cost. So that's something to think about. All right, what I'm going to show you is how to do a clasp today. This, you can see I've started a bracelet. See this little clasp here? This is what is called a lobster clasp. Just like a lobster, when you click this, see the little thing inside there? It looks like a lobster, thus the name. People like toggle clasps and other things, but I prefer a lobster clasp because it's the most secure. And if you're gonna make something, you don't wanna lose it, right?
Yeah.
So what you need in order to make this clasp is, well, I didn't get a clasp out, so I'll do that. First of all, you need something to string it on.
Okay.
I like this. This is called Beading. There's all kinds of things out there. The reason I like this, and I recommend this for beginners, is I'll show you, is it's super flexible. You are gonna find when you go shopping
Oh yeah.
for stuff, some of it's gonna be really thick, but if you are new to beading, you want something that's easy to maneuver in your hands.
Yeah, that looks pretty thin.
Yeah, it is. And what's nice about that is if you look here, see how I have these little spacer beads?
Yeah.
If
Those
you
are
want,
tiny.
They're very tiny, and what I like about those is you can add in the complementary color, but it also then gives each of your other individual beads a place to kind of shine, right? They're not all crammed together. You can do that too. That looks great too. But it gives you options.
You
So
kind of see them on your earrings too.
the little tiny beads. So
Yeah.
those are called, since you are highlighting these, this is what those are. These are called seed beads. They come in all different sizes. This size is an 11. And we'll talk more about how you know what the sizes are and what those different sizes mean in class. But these are size 11. These little dark blue ones are size 11. They're kind of bluish gray. So let me show you how to put a clasp on. So
Okay.
let's go back. You need this. You need something. I don't recommend fishing wire or cord or whatever it's called, line. It works, but what happens with the fishing line is there's no give to it, and it'll fray over time, and you can kink it really easily. I don't like it. It would work. You could try it.
So that it like might snap then is what you're
It
saying.
just doesn't. This stuff is has different cords all put together, so it's really strong, and it's designed for beading. And I don't know. Sometimes I just think things that are designed for what they are, there's kind of a plus.
Right.
The other thing you're going to need is what is called a crimp bead. Now, if you go and you look online, it gets overwhelming because there's lots of them. I like these. These are called 2x2s, okay?
Okay.
2x2 crimp beads. They're kind of a, let me see if I can get on its side. See how it's kind of an oblong color? Or shape, excuse me, not color.
Yeah.
I think those fit really well, and I've made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bracelets, hundreds and hundreds of necklaces, and these have never failed.
Okay.
So 2x2 crimp beads,
Does that say that on the packet? Can I see the packet?
just a crimp bead 2x2.
Okay.
That's all. It's, yeah. And then you are going to need a clasp, and I did not pull one out.
And hopefully you're able to hear this all well. As some of you may know, here in the Pacific Northwest, we're in the middle of a heat wave. So in order to keep cool, Boo and I and my other dear friend Alex have escaped to the mountains to stay cool, and we happen to be using Wi-Fi at the pool today. Hopefully you're hearing us. Hopefully you're You're hearing us okay. Okay.
All right, so this is the lobster class. Now, because I have a little side hustle, I've decided I'm only gonna work in sterling silver. This is a sterling silver lobster class with a swivel.
Oh,
And what I like about these
that's cool.
is they don't get kinked up.
Yeah.
They're a little bit more expensive. An option if, you know, you're just having some fun, you don't care about the type of metal, you can get silver covered. And what that means is they'll have a base metal and then they'll just put silver on top. So mine are all sterling silver and they're more money. You can also use brass or anything you want.
Yeah. But you're also creating, you know, you're creating these pieces of art that you're offering to people that they're you know, purchasing or
Right.
they're commissioning you to make. So it's a little bit different. And when you're, you know, when you're kind of playing and trying things out, it's easy to, you can go just kind of grab some basic things. You don't have to spend a lot of money to, you know, have fun and make some things.
You can go to Michael's, for example, or I think in other parts of the country, there's something called Hobby Lobby, and they're gonna have clasps like this. You don't have to have sterling silver, and you don't have to have the swivel on the bottom. The ones that don't have the swivel will be tight like this, and that's fine too. I just like these. So you need, as I said, your swivel or your lobster clasp, your 2x2, and your wire. So if you're making it for yourself, just measure it on your own wrist, right?
Okay,
Just measure it on your own wrist, and then add a little extra because it's easier to work. You need some sort of a cutter, excuse me. I love Lindstrom cutters, or these are Tronics. Again, these are kind of pricey. You do not need anything this expensive. You can use a pair of scissors.
Yeah.
You can go out to your garden shed and get, you know,
You could use like wire nose pliers, couldn't
you?
you?
Can use anything, yeah. You can go and get a clipper that you use to prune your bushes in your yard.
Okay.
These are because I also work in fine silver. I have to use these. But any kind of a cutter, anything, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing you want to do is I'm going to do these correctly, and then I'm going to show you some trouble that you might run into a couple times.
Oh, brilliant.
Okay? So all you do is you take your little crimp bead, you put it on there, put your clasp on there, and then you just loop it back through the crimp bead.
Oh, that's how you do that?
Yeah.
I honestly
Now,
had no idea.
what's going to happen when you do this? See how I crossed over?
Yeah.
You don't want to cross over, because if I crimp that down, it's going to get all jacked up and it could potentially not lay nicely, and it weakens the clasp. So the trick to making a good crimp,
Okay.
this is why you want extra length, so you have something to work with.
Okay.
So you put your crimp on, as I said. Let me do it again. Just so, if you're like me and it takes you a couple times to get something. You take your wire, whatever it is. I'm right-handed, so I hold it in my left hand. You take your 2x2 crimp bead, pop it on there, put your clasp on there, and then you go back through the crimp bead. Now what you want to do is, you can see there's kind of a left and a right, if you will. When I put this back through, you want to keep it on the same side. That's what makes it lay nicely. So if I did that correctly, I don't know if I did.
Let me see that again. That was a good view for people to see how it's...
You want the side that you put it in to stay on that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You guys can also decide to drop questions, and even if we can't answer them right now because I'm looking at this, I will pop back on here later with Leslie tomorrow maybe and answer questions. So
yeah,
stop back tomorrow.
Ask away.
So it can be a little confusing. So let's say those are right. What I do, and I know this looks confusing, you guys, it is not. I just hold my thumbnail next to it, right? And I like a little give. You could cram that all up there tight, but that doesn't look nice, right? Everything needs a little space. All of us, people, beads, your clasp, all of it. So what you do is you hold it like that, and then you take your crimping tool. You'll see your crimping tool has a section here, and it has a section here. You work from the inside out.
Oh, okay.
All right. So you take your little, and this one has been used so much. You just put it on there like that, and you give it a little squeeze. I didn't squeeze that very hard. It was very gentle.
Okay.
And it'll look like that. See, it's not destroyed.
But kind of flattened a little bit.
Yeah, and if you turn it over, this is how you know you did it right. You'll get a little thing on one side here and one side there, and then all you do is you move it up to the second part and you give it a squeeze. And boom, my clasp is done.
Oh,
all right?
Okay,
now,
great.
That's how you do it correctly. Now, I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to show you some problems that people run into. I'm going to waste a couple of my crimping beads here because I think it's important for those of you who want to learn to know what problems you could come into. So I'm beading along. You always want to start by putting your clasp on so you have something to string on, right? Put that on there. I add my clasp. I string it back through. Let's say I don't take the time and I just let the wire go where it wants, kind of willy-nilly. It gets crossed over. And then I'm just like, oh, I got to get this done. I got to try to do this wrong. I do these so fast that I might do it right without meaning to.
Yeah.
And I just crap that down. See how that just kind of stuck out right there? I pushed it too hard.
Yeah.
This little edge, if you run your finger on that,
Oh, it's like
it's sharp. And
oh yeah.
I would not want it. It doesn't seem like a very big deal, but if that's on your wrist all day,
or your neck,
or your
want
neck.
a silk blouse or something.
Yeah, it's something that can snake. And when you turn it over, see, you don't have one of those wires on either side, and it's all tight.
Yeah.
So when I go on to the second one and squeeze it, it just doesn't even look nice. And I know it's a small detail, but it's not good, and this is going to snag my shirt and or irritate my skin.
And again, this is what she's demonstrating is like an issue where you might run into a problem. So this is like what you don't want to do.
Right.
Hi, Star. How are you? You found us. Yay. Okay.
So I'm just going to remind you of what you need if you want to do this. You need a crimper. And this crimper, the brand has worn off. I think it's a Beadex, B-E-A-D-E-X.
Okay.
I think it was $6, maybe $5.
Beadex. All right.
Oh wait, does it say on there? Nope, it doesn't. But it's just a standard crimper. You can get them very inexpensive. You need a cutter of some kind. It does not need to be a Tronix. Any kind of cutter. You need crimp beads.
Okay.
You need a clasp.
Okay.
A wire of some sort. I recommend bead along for you beginners.
Okay.
And this is the size. This will help you when you're shopping online. And then the best part is you need beads.
That's my favorite part.
My favorite part too.
So pretty. Yeah.
So I hope that was helpful. I hope it was fun. If you have questions, as I said, pop them in the chat. And we will see you at camp.
Yay!
Bye.
Okay, it's your turn again. Okay, so I hope that I hope you all got to enjoy that. We're super excited about camp, and I just feel so fortunate that I've got to have the lovely Boo in my life for so long, and that she is so talented at not only what she refers to as her side hustle, which I personally don't feel like is a big enough of what she does, because her work is stunningly beautiful, but also being an amazing teacher, an amazing teacher for Teacher of the Year, I might add. And anyhow, but we're super excited about camp, and Boo is going to be doing a full workshop, so it was lovely to have her do this little sampling today as a sneak peek. But she'll be one of the 15 artists that we'll have at camp. And again, our Joy-Filled Arts and Crafts Virtual Summer Camp will be July 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, so that we do hope that you'll join us, and we're looking forward to seeing you here again with us tomorrow. My special guest is Michelle Stevens with Michelle Stevens Art, and she will be going over how to start a blank canvas. Again, I'm sorry that there's a little background noise. It is, 100 and something degrees here today, and we're at the pool where we could, steal their Wi-Fi. So,
We're not stealing.
no, we're not stealing it, but it was the one place we could go to get the Wi-Fi and stay cool and cool. So, yeah, camp is going to be great. It's 3 fun-filled days, and besides having the 30 workshops to choose from, we're going to be having like early morning yoga and you can hang out with the art instructors, meet the other campers. It's really about, that connection and community of being able to meet new people, take some time for yourself to learn new things. Camp is for teens and adults, and we actually have a new friends and family bundle. It's for up to 4 people to come to camp together, and it's $3.97, and then a single registration is $2.97. But if you are here with us and you're watching, we are offering $100 off your camp registration. So that's $197 for an individual, and for the family, friends and family 4-pack, it's $297. So stick around, come back tomorrow to see Michelle, and then on Friday, instead of doing the Facebook Live, we'll be doing a Zoom, so you can actually pop in, show us what you've made. Hopefully you will have gone back and done your camp badge. We're going to be giving away prizes. It's going to be really fun, so come join us. We're doing it a little bit earlier because I know that we're going into the holiday weekend, so we'll be here at 12 noon on Friday, and then tomorrow and Thursday it will be 3 p.m. in our Facebook page. So thanks so much. We really appreciate you. Have an awesome day. Yay!